I'm Jessica.
And I'm Kira.
And we are
the Keepers of the Books,
your online librarians. And we are here with a weekly reads episode. Although some of these are catch up from when I didn't have my voice for so long. But I have a couple Winnie the Pooh books this week as well.
So this is a younger episode period this time.
Well, mostly, yeah. There's a couple books that can branch over into that early teen area. Like this one really is for any age group. Other than that, most of these books are going to be younger.
The first one is Solos from Star Wars, of course, and it's Meet the Crew.
World of Reading, Level 2 reading is simple storylines, compound sentences, and contractions. Ages normally kindergarten through about second grade.
So it is just how it sounds. And here you're going to meet Han, Chewie, Londo, Weira, and all the people from the movie Solo. It's told through an easy reader format for the younger audience that absolutely loves Star Wars.
I just want to show them the stickers first.
Stickers! Best part of any book are the stickers.
It is an illustrated version of the movie with a simple, easy introduction to the storyline.
Pictures are great, text is easy to follow, and it's going to be perfect for that level 2 reader. Isn't quite ready to step up to a level 3, but wants to read the story of Han Solo.
I like using these also with ELL student level, or even reluctant readers. I know some people don't like that terminology, but it is what we use. Simply because it's not a childish story. This is a story for all ages.
Spans everyone.
And so it's just a little easier to read, and when they get a little bit better, really there's nothing for them to be ashamed of reading at a lower level. And with ELL students, they're coming from another language, they're learning a language and to read at the same time. That's not that easy, and English is not the easiest language to learn. This is a review copy from Disney and Lucasfilms Press.
Buggin Out, a Marvel Superhero Adventures. It's written by MacKenzie, Cadenhead, Sean Ryan, illustrated by Derek Laufman. It's your typical Spider-Man story, but you add in there Ant-Man and the Wasp because Doc Ock has come to take over the science fair and ruin it for everybody else. So short, quick illustration, short, easy text, easy to follow, great for a step up to an early chapter book, especially for those who love superheroes.
I really liked this one in the plot line.
It was very well done. So you'll notice a lot of this is told half through picture, half through words, which is perfect for grades 2 through 3 or ages 7 to 9.
This is a review copy from Marvel. Heartwood Hotel, Home Again. This is by Callie George, illustrated by Stephanie Gregan. This is book 4 in the Heartwood Hotel series. And it's summer. Everyone is preparing for Mrs. Prickle's wedding. There is a new guest mouse. Her name is Strawberry. And Mona is wondering if Strawberry could be a relative of hers. Remember, Mona's an orphan. All signs and clues are pointing to yes. And there's some reasons behind that, and that's part of the mystery of this book. Fernwood Forest is struck by lightning, and there is a forest fire. It's summer, unfortunately, and this forest fire is threatening Heartwood Hotel. It's coming that way, even though there's this rock ridge that it has to get over. And the thing is, can the creatures of the Heartwood Hotel escape? And will the Heartwood Hotel be okay? Will the hotel be safe? Yes.
Aw, I like what it says in the back. Happiness lies in between.
Those of you who know, I love this series. It reminds me a lot of Winnie the Willows, but a modern kind of version of that. And I love the sense of family and love that this book portrays, and the cute little characters and the illustrations. The illustrations are absolutely adorable. They've done such a good job with these lovable characters, and I absolutely love this series. Again, another 5 stars to another Heartwood Hotel book. And grades 2 through 4. You could read this younger, of course, if your child's a really good reader. Grades 2 through 4 is going to be ages 6 to about 9 or 10, and this is a review copy from Disney Hyperion.
DuckTales!
Oh no.
Solving mysteries and rewriting histories. Edited by Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Webby. This is the autobiography of...
Are you really doing the quote thing?
Uncle Scrooge. And obviously very exaggerated according to Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Webby. So it introduces characters to the series and the fun of DuckTales in a little bit more of a chapter book format under 10. Now, you have to see these. It's told more of like a notebook format, and it talks about all the main characters in the show, as well as the infamous Scrooge McDuck's manor and Gold Bank, or swimming pool of gold. Great fun read for anyone who is into DuckTales. Ages 7 to 10 or 8 grades 2 through about 4.
And this is a review copy from Disney Press. The next 2 books I'm going to do are Winnie the Pooh. Now, these books really are ageless, but they could be done with a child, as all the Pooh books were. All the Pooh books really were too hard for the age group that's going to appreciate them most. They were meant to be books that you shared. At least that's the impression that I got. They were storybooks. They're books you read at bedtime. You enjoyed them together. And that's why I think Pooh is pretty much ageless. From little tiny kids all the way through adults. Adults still love Pooh Bear. A Walk in the Wood, Meditations on Mindfulness with a Bear Named Pooh by Dr. Joseph Parent and Nancy Parent. In this book, you spend a day with Winnie the Pooh and the other creatures of the 100-Acre Woods. And as Pooh practices mindfulness throughout his day, he helps those around him to be mindful as well. So this isn't like the Tao of Pooh, which I think might be out of print at this point. And that book really was for adults. This is a book that you could share and work on mindfulness together as a family or a parent and child. So Dr. Joseph Parent is an expert in performance psychology and a mindfulness instructor. And the way he takes the mindfulness to a level where it's really kind of for beginners and it's really aimed, I think, towards beginners, but it's just put into a Pooh world. Each part of Pooh's day is broken out in this book and is paired with a short piece of instruction on mindfulness and some various aspects on mindfulness. It is easy to follow as an intro to mindfulness and living in the now. Mindfulness and living in the now is something that a lot of school districts actually are working on because we've noticed that children are stressed. They're having a hard time being present in the classroom.
And they focus on it on my work too. We have Mindfulness Mondays. So.
Mindfulness can be as spiritual as you want it to be or not. I mean,
it's
really.
Mostly just a stress technique. Getting rid of that stress and
especially on the introduction level, and teaching the children to live in the moment, to experience the moment, to not necessarily be thinking about the video games that they want to be playing or daydreaming, but to be there and to learn and to enjoy where they're at is very important. And a lot of workplaces are incorporating this as well. Police forces and everything else. It's we live in a world where it's easy to mentally be somewhere else. And this is a way to focus and enjoy and just be. This is a review copy from Disney Editions, and I really did like this book. The layout was really well suited towards the format.
Smells
and
good.
You could just go through a chapter of this together with your child or with your teens or just as an adult. Simple, easy to read together. Easy to read and understand together and to discuss. And that really is actually a very good reading technique to help teach your children to read better. Incorporate that whole metacognitive aspect, the analysis. Enjoy. Very, very good book. And I like the little ribbon and I like the pictures. See, this is where Pooh wakes up. So you've got the Winnie the Pooh pictures. Christopher Robin, The Little Book of Poohisms with help from Piglet, Rabbit, Eeyore, Owl, and Tigger 2.
G.I. Double Girl.
This is specifically to go with the movie Christopher Robin by Disney. This is, again, a review copy from Disney Press. And this book is so cute. It just has quotes from Pooh throughout all the different Pooh adventures, paired with a picture in the classic Pooh artistic format, and I love it. Okay, this is one everybody knows. Some of these are very insightful, and some are just Pooh. Time for a little snack, and it says, it's always a good time for something sweet. These are separated into different categories, the way this is done, like adventures, little nothings and somethings, fitness, 100-acre wisdom, honey, organization, being you, friendship, time, bothers, writing, weather, hip hip hoorays, and endings. So you'll know the quotes and just little comments from the narrator on them. Pooh's insightfulness is why Pooh has lasted and endured for so long. And it's a very quick read. This is a great book for a gift, too.
Uma's Wicked Book from Descendants 2. Apparently I was on a TV movie kick this week. Go figure. In this book, you have the story of Descendants 2, but it's told through Uma's point of view. And so, you'll notice it's told in scrapbook/notebook format, and as you read along, you can almost see the storyline and going through the movie Descendants 2 with Uma's little interpretations thrown in there. For Descendants fans, this is a must-have. You'll love it. I recommend it for, same age as Those like Descendants, so probably grades 4 to about 7, or ages 8 to 12, but you go younger or older depending on the interest level. This is a review copy from Disney Press. Adventures Guild by Zack, Loran Clark, and Nick Eliopulos. Okay, so in this book, the world is overrun with monsters. And the two main characters, Zed and Brock, have been, I guess you could say, conscripted into having to join the Adventurers Guild. Because in this world, there is a guild called the Adventurers Guild, and each year, everybody is put into their own individual guilds based off of what they're interested in and what the guild leaders need to help the community. Brock has always wanted to be in the Merchants Guild. Zed has always wanted to be in the Mage Guild because he's actually a sorcerer. But instead, they had to join the Adventurers Guild. And then on their first night, they're all put outside the guild hall, and all these monsters attack. And it comes to light that there's something more going on in this kingdom than any of the leadership want to admit to, and it's up to the two boys and their friends to save the world. Very fun action-adventure, full of fantasy and magic and monsters, obviously. If you enjoy a fun action-packed adventure, you'll want to pick this one up. This is a review copy from Disney Hyperion. I'd recommend it for grades 4 to 8 or ages 10 to 15. Once again, this is a review copy from Disney Hyperion. Read-alikes, I would say for the older age, you would like this if you liked Mercedes Lackey and her series Apex, or for the younger age, if you liked Brandon Mole, Twee Sutherland, or any kind of fantasy like that, you'll definitely like this one.
She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, you got the title now. It's by Anne Hood, and it's an audiobook. It was read by Holly Linneman. Might be Holly Lineman. It's got 2 N's. Linneman. This is a review copy from the publisher, and it is realistic and historical fiction. For those of you who are grandparents out there, I am sorry, but 50 years is the rule of thumb for historical fiction. I know you lived through this, but it's historical fiction now. This book came out the end of June, and I'm going to say ages 10 to 13-ish. You could go plus or minus on that. There's not really any content in it. This is about Trudy Mixer, Gertrude, and it's 1966. You've got the Vietnam War. She is in 6th grade. She is the president of the middle school's Beatle fan club, and it's Beatle Mania time. Her best friend is Michelle. Her thing is she must meet Paul. Not Ringo, not George, Paul. So her best friend Michelle is starting to be interested in cheer, and their tastes are diverging. But Trudy and her dad, both on the Ed Sullivan Show, which, by the way, my dad made me watch the other night. The Beatles come for their first world tour. They're on the Ed Sullivan Show, and they watch it together. Her and her dad both decide they like it. They get to the point where they get all the records together. They start listening together. Mom does not like it. She just wants her Frank Sinatra. Also very good music, but very different from the Beatles. And of course, there's a little bit of hints that, like, there could be some drugs going on with those Beatles. But at this point in her life, Trudy feels like the world is starting to conspire against her. And they just love every record. But when you start getting to that Yellow Submarine stuff, her dad's like, I don't know about this. But every chapter of this book is titled after a Beatles song. It's realistic fiction, but these poor, kids in this fan club just have these hopes that are so innocent and like kids would at this age, 6th grade. They think that meeting Paul is going to fix everything in their lives. And they each are dealing with some very difficult things. One girl is dealing with the Vietnam War. I'm not going to tell you what they're all dealing with, but anyways, just know that it's realistic fiction and their lives are real. It's historical realistic fiction. Yes, technically it is. I'm sorry, grandparents. Yes, you do remember, but it is historical fiction now. We've said that twice. Yeah, I just know a lot of people are not going to be so cool with that concept. Really good book and realistic, but heartwarming, and at the same time, you, as an adult reading this book, you know that meeting Paul is not going to fix all their lives, and you hope that this really comes together. It's a perfect historical fiction book for this age group. Everybody deals with hard things, and you can meet there are some parallels, you know, that you could mix in with current times that kids could relate to. I loved it. It was a very short listen, 4 hours and 45 minutes. And the narrator did a great job with the voices and with reading the book. Very engaging, yet endearing to that childhood.
Bumblebee at Superhero High by Lisa Yee. This book obviously is a superhero book, and the world's honey supply all seems to be disappearing, which you wouldn't think would be so big of a deal, but suddenly other things start disappearing, and a lot of other things start to be going wrong, and it's up to Bumblebee to figure out what's going on. Small problem. Her house got a little mishap, and she no longer has her superhero lab and is having to share with Batgirl. And most of the time they get along, but not all the time. And there's a lot more going on that's sinister at Superhero High. Can Bumblebee and her friends figure out what's going on? This is read by Teala Dunn. It was an audiobook review. She does a great job of bringing to life Beast Boy and Batgirl and Bumblebee and Wonder Woman and giving them all different voices. And they're really easy to distinguish and tell apart. I love how she adds a lot of life to the characters and makes them seem more realistic for the reader, or in this case the listener. Fans of superheroes and Superhero High and DC or even Marvel will want to pick this one up. I would recommend it for, since this auto, you could go as low as 2nd grade up to about 6th grade, or ages 7 to 12.
Willa of the Wood by Robert Beatty. Those of you who've been following us know that I absolutely loved the Serafina series. Now, not the Serafina with the dragon, the Serafina
Serafina.
Yes, not PH like the dragon. This was read by Emily Rankin. I had a review copy of both this and the audiobook from the publishers. Okay, so this is the World of Serafina, and it's a new series. This one takes place in the Great Smoky Mountains, and Robert Beatty's been publishing some pictures from a trip he took to there, some hiking and stuff that he did. Willa is a night spirit, and she is the best jader or thief of her clan. Well, her clan's the Farron people. She kind of bends the rules a little bit because she knows she's so good at this. And one night she's out and she's thieving, and she goes in a human house to get some stuff. And the humans see her. She gets shot. She's got to get back, but she knows she's been shot. But she's got a great take. So she shouldn't be there. She can't really tell them the truth of where she was. She's back late. She's in trouble, and she is being bullied by the other jaders. They are taking her stuff and saying that they got it. And so if you don't get this good take and get your quota, then you get in trouble with the leader of the clan. So she's discovering throughout this book that the elements of her world are much more complex and deeper, and there are things that she does not know. She's learning this as she goes, and that kind of things have been an illusion to some extent, or a mask, kind of Wizard of Oz, behind the curtain kind of thing. A turn of events that I can't say leaves her questioning everything she knows and everyone she knows. So she has to find the truth. She has to be able to save everyone she loves from both worlds, basically. Wow. Well written again. Robert Beatty does a fantastic job. He does not like if you give away any spoilers on his book, so I'm trying to be very careful about this. It's fantasy, and it's got the magical world. It was published in July. Grades 4 through 8, but you could go up or down if you have a good reader or someone who just loves this kind of world. Very easy, nothing that's going to preclude younger or older from reading this book. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Another great one, 5 stars. This is a review book from Disney Hyperion.
Brooklyn House Magician's Manual. This is for the Kane Chronicles. In this book, you cover all the characters from the Kane Chronicles, Carter, his sister Sadie, and all the others, as well as some other things about the novel series that you'll definitely want to pick up, especially if you liked the series. I would recommend this for anyone who has an interest in it as well, even if you haven't read it, but it helps if you have. Each chapter heading in each chapter is definitely told with a Carter and Sadie flair. This is a review copy from Disney Hyperion, and I would recommend it for grades 5 to 9 or ages 10 to 15, the same age that enjoys Percy Jackson series. This is a must-have.
Boying Up, How to Be Brave, Bold, and Brilliant by Mayim Balik, PhD. She is from Big Bang Theory. You might recognize her. She's Sheldon's girlfriend. This is a companion to the book Growing Up. Now, Mayim Balik is a neuroscientist, like real life neuroscientist and a mom, not just an actress. She was Blossom,
Yep.
For those of you who want to go back that far. This book deals with a lot of things, and this is by far one of the best books I have reviewed or read on puberty and on growing up. I'm going to say this is for grades 5 through 9, or ages 10 through 15, and I also have the audiobook to review for Penguin Random House. So basically, growing up is hard to do. This book is a straightforward, no-nonsense guide from a neuroscientist putting things in a scientific yet straightforward, easy to understand way, scientifically, but yet she seems to be able to put things just right. And I think the fact that she has 2 teenage boys helps her to do that. And she presents some topics that are definitely about maturation, and those are straightforward and in the book. And she also covers topics like respecting women, choosing a career. She does address both cultural and religious norms, why your parents want you to wait. So societal and cultural norms, not just scientific. I do think this is the best book available on puberty for boys and the girl one for girls. So anyways, great review book, and the audiobook is narrated by the author. And of course, she's an actress, so she does a great job. And she puts it in a no-nonsense, mom is a scientist format. All of it. It's great.
Okay.
Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. When you subscribe, hit the bell notification so that you actually get notifications about the videos. Otherwise, you don't. Thank you, YouTube. And until next time, happy reading. Bye.